What's up, guys? Flippin' Steve here, back today with another video. And today's video is going to be something a little bit different. It's going to be something more fun. It's going to be an activity. It's going to be interactive, something that I can do with you guys, and you guys can participate by commenting below. And I'm going to tell you what we're going to be commenting once we get into this video. Often I do videos and I get messages on Instagram and things where people want to get my opinion on players that they should prospect on, go out and gamble on, who are some young players that are cheap that might see a little increase in their cards so that I can flip them. And I don't like to do videos like that. I don't like to put out picks. I don't do things like that. All I do is think for myself and tend to go out and gamble on players that I think might have some potential. So in this video, what we're going to do is an exercise together. How sometimes I come up with some of my picks and just my thinking process, my thought process that goes in. This isn't really going to involve numbers. This is just going to involve a way to pick up players. With that being said, just you don't want to overpay. You do want to buy cheap players when you're prospecting on these types of players and these scenarios that I'm going to give you. So guys, get a pen, get a pad or a piece of paper. We're going to have to write some stuff down, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So first things first is you're going to want to head over to some website that's going to either give you rosters or depth charts of NFL teams. We're going to do NFL quarterbacks right now because that's what's popular. And you're either going to, go to NFL.com, whatever, your favorite website. And we're going to pull up team rosters and depth charts. And what we're going to do is take all 32 NFL teams right now that have listed their starter and their backup quarterbacks. Now this may change because we do have preseason, we do still have some free agent signings and trades and things to go through and things like that. But for the most part, this is going to be pretty set. And you're going to go over there, you're going to all 32 teams, write down their teams, write down their starting quarterback and their backup quarterback. I know what you guys are thinking, oh, we're going to look at backup quarterbacks, and that is true, but there's more to it than that. So go ahead and take care of that. And we're going to get into step two. So step two, or next up, this isn't necessarily steps, is you're going to look at these 32 starting quarterbacks. And what you want to do is evaluate them and say, which of these quarterbacks has a high percentage or a high likelihood of playing poorly or getting hurt, all right? And there's many factors that you can judge that by. You can just look at past play, past experience. For example, a guy like Baker Mayfield, who's now down in Tampa, if he's listed as the starter, he's young, but he does have some play experience behind him. What is your opinion on him? Do you think that he's going to succeed down there? You can bounce over to the Chiefs, for example, and say Patrick Mahomes has been really getting banged up. Is this the year that he gets hurt? And you don't want to jinx anybody, but again, that's a high-powered offense, and you want to take a look at that. But we're going to dive into also that later because there's some other things we're going to touch on, say like a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes, with who his backup is right now. And then you're going to narrow this down to one quarterback from each division, being 4 in the AFC, 4 in the NFC. So ultimately, you're going to get this narrowed down right now to 8 quarterbacks. You're going to get it narrowed down to 8 quarterbacks by going through and saying, one in each division, who has a highly likelihood of losing their starting job, whether that be via injury or poor play. And then we're going to come back and we're going to go through the next process that I would tend to look at. So now that we got that narrowed down to 8 quarterbacks, this is going to be slightly different for everyone now, because I'm going to tend to cross everyone off my list that is over the age of 28. So anybody 29 or above, I typically am going to cross off my list. But we'll use 29 years of age as a fence number. You guys can use 29 years of age, but typically 30 and above, I would really shy away from. Right now, what you're looking at quarterbacks in the 29-year-old range would be someone along the lines of a Jameis Winston or a Marcus Mariota. Those kind of guys who are on the cusp of what is their career going to be. We've seen them play. We've seen them play well. We've seen them play bad. We've seen them get hurt. We've seen them bounce around. And now they are, and they were high draft picks, and now they are backups on teams. Will they get another chance? And getting another chance at the age of 29, when people already know what kind to expect from these guys, what kind of play to expect from them, does it really give their cards a shot in the arm? So again, I'm going to stay 28 and below. You guys do what you want to do. If you want to mingle around that 29 and up number, that's on you, but I tend to go 28 and below. And now that we've weeded out some of these quarterbacks due to their age, now the main question is, have these quarterbacks played, and have they played well? Now, we know they're going to have played poorly because they wouldn't be backup quarterbacks. You know, they're backups for a reason. But have they showed flashes? Have they showed that they can play in this league? Have they showed that given the right opportunity with the right team, that they could possibly make something out of their career? They're still a decent age because we've weeded that out. And we also want to look at the type of offenses that they play on. Are they on successful teams? Or if they come in, they're just being thrown into a shit show. You know, kind of like the Cardinals or something like that. And again, because if you head over to a team like the Raiders and you say, well, they signed Jimmy G, but I think Jimmy G is going to get hurt. Jimmy G is also 31. Who is their backup? You're looking at a guy like a Brian Hoyer, I believe, right now. And we know Brian Hoyer is just a roster filler. He's a guy that comes in, plug and play, backup quarterback. He's been doing it for years, but that's his career. And like I mentioned the Chiefs earlier, right now I do believe it's Blaine Gabbert. We know that as a career, it's pretty much said and done. And another thing to touch on about age is we saw a guy come in last year and have the best year of his career, winning a starting job in Seattle, and that was Geno Smith, and had a great year, and the team played well, but being 31 years of age, nobody really had confidence, you know, to go down and chase his cards. So it's something I didn't mention back on age, but that's just a quarterback that I wanted to point out, where age is kind of important when people are looking to prospect and buy cards that you bought cheaper and you're trying to flip them up in value. So ask yourself, has this player flashed? Have they shown potential? Even if they've struggled at times, have they shown potential? And we're going to narrow this down to 2 quarterbacks. So take the list of 32 that we started, we got it to 8, then we eliminated something with age. Now we're going to use what have we seen them do on the field to narrow it down to 2 quarterbacks, because you don't want too many. And then take your 2 quarterbacks and say, hey, are their cards cheap? And do they have a chance? And is it worth the gamble? And when you talk about the numbers, I usually like to look at a 3x versus a 50% loss. So if I buy a card for $10, does it have the potential of getting to $30 at the risk of it falling to $5? That would be the ratio that I would use. Now, you can play with different numbers, but look at that ratio. Can this card 3x at a risk of it dropping half in value? And those are the types of cards that I would tend to chase. And you guys comment below the 2 quarterbacks that you ended with, and I'll go ahead and show you guys my 2 quarterbacks right now. Just kidding. If I did that, it would be a pump. Anyway, comment below. Tell me who you guys came up with. Just a small, short, fun video and exercise that I wanted to do with you guys. I wanted to come on and be interactive. And comment below. Tell me who you got. Like and subscribe on your way out, guys. Have a good day. This has been fun. I'll talk to you later.